All right, welcome. Today we're diving into the latest curriculum and assessment review for history and geography in English schools. Now, this isn't about some massive, scary overhaul. Think of it more as a tactical refinement, a tune-up, designed to make these crucial subjects even better. So let's get right into it.
So the review kicks off from a really strong place. Uptake for both subjects is high and it's on the rise, which is fantastic news. But it gets to a central question pretty quickly, one that I think every teacher will recognize. Are our pupils getting the chance to really master the material, or are they just skimming the surface?
First up, let's look at what the review confirms is already working really well. It's so important to see this as building on success, not trying to fix something that's fundamentally broken. The report is very clear. The humanities are in a very healthy state.
And there's a lot to celebrate here. Geography's focus on real-world challenges is really grabbing pupils' attention. At the same time, past reforms have done a great job strengthening that chronological backbone of the history curriculum. The review basically doubles down on the idea that these subjects are a core academic right for every single pupil, right up to age 16.
Okay, so that's the good stuff. But here's the crucial point the review makes. Despite all this popularity and this strong foundation, there's a big challenge with how the curriculum is structured. And it really boils down to that classic problem, doesn't it? Being a mile wide and an inch deep.
This quote from the report, well, it just gets right to the heart of the matter. Teachers are saying that the sheer volume of content, especially at GCSE, can make the whole thing feel overloaded. It creates this pressure to just cover ground rather than actually uncovering any meaning.
This image just captures that tension perfectly. On one side, you've got the challenge, all this dense content leading to just skating over the surface and learning by rote. And on the other, the goal, real intellectual mastery, proper disciplinary rigor, and crucially, the ability to build a complex argument. It's all about moving from simply knowing what happened to understanding how we know.
So what's the solution then? Well, it's not about adding more teaching time. The review is very, very clear on that. Instead, it puts forward this really clear, tactical, two-pronged strategy. It's all about shifting the focus from that breadth to real depth and just using the time we already have much more effectively.
The plan is actually elegantly simple. First, streamline the content. This is about a light touch review, weeding out repetition, updating case studies, and that creates space. Second, you use that newly created space to prioritize the core disciplinary skills of each subject, the actual craft of being a historian or a geographer.
And this is where that idea of deeper learning becomes really concrete and tangible. For history, it means explicitly teaching how historical claims are actually put together and how to assess evidence with a critical eye. For geography, it's all about reinforcing high-quality fieldwork, spatial reasoning, and using modern digital tools. Basically, it's about thinking like a practitioner.
Okay, let's move on and see how this all builds a more connected learning experience. A really key part of the review is strengthening what it calls horizontal coherence, which is just a fancy way of saying making the links between subjects clearer and more purposeful for pupils, joining up the dots, essentially.
Now, the most explicit link is between geography and science. The review recommends that things like climate change and sustainability are embedded much more deeply across both physical and human geography. This makes sure that pupils get a coherent, joined-up education on one of the most critical topics of our time. It just makes sense, right?
And for history, the connection is to English and the development of media literacy. Think about it. The skills of a historian, investigating sources, weighing up evidence, applying a critical lens, they are precisely the skills we all need to navigate the modern digital world. This becomes a really powerful, real-world application of historical thinking. And finally, both subjects provide the essential bedrock for the newly statutory citizenship curriculum. By studying the past and the world around them, pupils get that crucial cultural, social, and political context they need to understand big concepts like democracy, governance, and society.
So, what does this all mean for head teachers, for subject leaders, and for teachers chatting about this in the staff room? What's the big picture here?
The crucial takeaway really is that this review is an empowerment document. It's designed to give teachers the permission and the framework to prioritize clarity and depth over sheer volume. The ultimate goal is to equip pupils not just with a collection of facts, but with the critical thinking skills they'll need for an informed and active life. Look, this report isn't the final word. It's really the beginning of a vital conversation for every school, and it leaves us with some powerful questions to think about, like the one you can see right now.
How can we make our curriculum more representative and diverse, not by just piling more onto an already crowded plate, but by being more thoughtful about the content we choose to teach in depth? That's the challenge, but it's also the great opportunity this review presents.